I'm getting a discount. It's one guy with 5 hats, and it's everything I wanted. And before we start, no, yes, let's. Me and him were in New York. He was just honored by the President of the United States of America. This man right here, sitting with you, that didn't move a muscle. Listen to everybody on the United States President honor him. And you don't have to believe me because we were in New York on Thursday. He's flying back to California, so this is a triangle. So he can't. He has to carry. Actually, I offered to carry his award. So it's here. I want you guys to see it. Right?
So before we do that, and you guys are learning, Raymond has become the specialist when it comes to surprises. So that surprise will come in a bit. But, I want to really take a quick moment to share with you all just how I met Dr. Rivers. And it was just over a year ago, I believe. Yeah. And it feels like 10 years. So each of you are building your business. You're focusing on where you're going. I'm at the stage where I'm only thinking of legacy, which is when I leave the planet Earth, what is the world going to know about me? And what are my kids and great-grandchildren are going to think of me? And a friend of mine introduced me to Dr. Rivers. And how that happened was through a trip going back to my home country where I was born when I met Raymond. And I haven't been back there since 1995. So we're talking about the power of collaboration and access. Yeah. Now, I returned back to my home country. In my mind, I was going as a visitor. But because of the connection, the collaboration, and the access, I returned to my home country after 30 years almost as a delegate, speaking to the vice president of Guyana, and access like never before. That opened up my eyes, and then we had 2 hours to sit down and talk one day. Yeah. And that 2 hours has led to a dream I thought would come through in about 10 to 15 years of changing the world that started yesterday. Ladies and gentlemen, please. I wanted to, yeah. Surprise.
Like, we're not making stuff up here. And you can tell from his personality, he's not a show-off guy. Like, he's a low-key guy, but I want you guys to understand where he's coming from when he speaks.
Wow, thank you so much. Thank you. Humbled to be here. Thank you, guys, man. It's so awesome to be among you world leaders. What I do, I think in terms of how to change the world. I don't think in terms of how to play on the field. I think in terms of how not to be on somebody else's stage, how to create your own stage. If you're going to change the world, you have to think different. You can't think like systems. You have to think how to create paradigms. And what I do, man, I don't even advertise. I want special clients that we can help create initiatives because speaker, coach, trainer is tired words if you have nothing authentically you. There are millions, every country, speaker, motivational coach, this. I go, guys, fantastic. How do you differentiate yourself and get to the top of the world to where they are clamoring for you? That's what I build. What I do, I help you verbally engineer brand new markets, brand new horizons, because every single thing in the world that's created by God doesn't come from an existing paradigm. It comes from God. So, man, hear this. Many people look for the cracks. I look for that's created. Not the gap, I'm not researching gaps. I'm creating movements and allowing people to move in. I grew up special education, rode a short bus to a special school. I'm now the ambassador for a country. I don't even speak the language of Burundi. I've been the ambassador for 13 years, working with a president of one of the poorest nations in the world, but it's not poor. It's actually poor based on data definitions. Huh. Data. Wow, how deceptive can that be sometimes when you look at the wrong narratives? I'm telling you people, this stuff, I know how to do it. I know how to help people establish initiatives that work with the United Nations Millennium, the actual goals. The 17 sustainable goals. I know how to help people put together initiatives that can work in every country of the world, and hear this, and you become a household name. When you work with the top of the world, never bring number one, number two. Never bring a number one president, a number two person. They don't want anyone's name on your shirt. You're being trained by this. I'm giving you another grid. They said, we can get John Maxwell. We can get these guys. They're only a phone call away. We want brand new innovation. We want the original ideas that come out of you. So it's a whole nother paradigm. And we own it. We own the space, because if you're going to do this right, you'll grow up out of bounds. You'll be educated in darkness, and that's each of your individual trial is your real educator. It'll educate you to who you are, and what you're destined to do. I would never imagine that's my actual second White House award. I got one in 2017. Special education, short bus to dominating the world. I'm dominating the world. Literally, presidents call me and say, how do we solve our problems? And I said, first of all, Mr. President, you have to have everybody at the table. You can't just have your political party and your view if you're going to have a civil nation. You have to engage every citizen needs the right to have a voice, even the ones that you consider to be the problem. It's true. Amen. And watch this here. Nations are crashing every day because of division and strife. And I go, guys, that's not the narrative. That's not what narratives we need to bring. Now, every one of you in here, there's an initiative in you, and hear this. The initiative that God has given you is really patent proof. Oh, people have tried to steal my dream. They can't, because it's given to me. So God empowers me. When they try, I go, guys, I don't worry about patent this. I am the patent of God's original design for me. And when they try to steal it, it just elevates my profile. So I don't worry about people want to steal my stuff, because really, that's simple. Just go outside, create the business in another country, and use a different name, because all laws are not the same around the world. Oh, come on, somebody. I'm trying to help you understand how to step in and how to own the space, how to occupy it. But hear this, but you have to have an authentic thing that's you. I've helped a woman I work with now. We created a new initiative for her called Every Girl Wins. See, now what happens is this. If you're a speaker, you have a message. But if your message doesn't have a mission, your message will never grow. Right. You'll talk to the same people, you'll fire them up, and hear this. Motivation has a short shelf life because there's so many out there motivating. They'll be here this weekend, somewhere else the next week, and who's big now will not be big tomorrow, because there'll be a paradigm change. Linear to exponential change the world. So I go, guys, you got to tap into the young generation. You got to tap into who you are, because that design pattern in you is no design flaw. It's a design that's called to help empower, grow, and transform things. I'm telling you, I'm looking for world changers, because it's easy when you start from the top down. Oh yeah, of course, What I'm saying is an interruption. Who is this guy? Well, I'm the guy that can call the president and they pick the phone up. Presidents call me on my cell phone. Kings have me come in and help build their countries. That's the guy I am. I'm not a motivational speaker. I'm not a coach. I'm just doing what I do, and I want to find people that will change the world. I go, don't put a definition on me because I'm unlimited. I can be whatever I'm supposed to be, so you can't define me, because if you define me, you blind me. What's before you restores you. What's your vision? Go big. Go big. And think about this here. Think about this here. The one lady that has Every Girl Wins, I helped her establish an algorithm in developing countries that will actually locate where a girl's at in her thinking. And we've created content to help these girls grow. My ultimate goal behind the initiatives is to get it into policy, because when you get the right policy in, law creates cultures. When a law's passed, a culture's created. And every law that's passed started from someone's idea that they pushed through, and they got it to policy, and now a culture is created by someone's idea. I'm in front of the most brilliant people in the world. Man, I love when you come here and everybody gives, man, what they're, I'm this. I'm like, yes, 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 yes. Now, have you created a paradigm for that to live on? Have you created a paradigm for that to live on? I will help 10 people, and I'm working with this man, Raymond, I'm working with him. After this, if you're serious about changing the world, if you want your brand to grow, you have to have experiences in other countries, because the experiences grow your brand. The experiences make you priceless. Nations are now calling me because I'm priceless. Doctor, how do we work in America? How do we do it? Great. How do we work with Latin America? How do we do this here? Great. I'll put you in contact with President's Protocol. I'll put you this here, and he'll tell you the truth. Because the average person builds on the internet. What comes off there, it's deceptive. It's deceptive what you get from countries. Let me give you an example in my country. In the country I'm the ambassador for, the only thing that's considered work is a government job. So as you come in and do data, and you say, hey, have you got a job? The guy will say, no, but he has a farm. So all these people have farms, and they're working, but it's not considered a job. A job is considered government. So when you come in and you say, this country's 80% unemployed, no, they're not. The question you ask is put in a box, so they all have jobs. And then there's other countries where money's not needed. They have 5,000 cattle, this guy has the potatoes, this one has this, and they barter every day. And they live in peace. So there's so much limiting thoughts that just limit people. And what I'm saying is this: the wisdom we have in this room, let's shape the world. Amen. Let's reframe the world, because we can do it, because I work at the top. I work with the policymakers, and they have no wisdom. They go, how do we solve this problem? I said, well, first of all, bring everybody to the table. Let the Hutus and Tutsis, Rwanda, my girl back there, stand up, please. She was originally from Burundi, correct? Born in the country I'm the ambassador for. That's, God bless you. Now watch this. We'll have to, and brief, I'll be brief. When the president of Burundi took over, let me tell you what he did. I'm going to tell you how to change a nation, not visit them, not come in and leave a little impact, and when you're dead, you're forgotten. He came into power, and if you Google his name, he looks like the devil with skin, because he's changing the country for the better. See, you don't understand. The world works off medicine, military. So countries need you sick or getting healthy through good medicine. Drugs, good. Drugs, bad. Guns for good, guns for bad. That drives the world. So in the world I work in, evil's needed because it pays. And when you want to solve the problem, they get scared because I got to get another job. So if we rid the world of AIDS, just think how many people would lose jobs if AIDS was solved. Another world. So what am I saying? What am I saying? Huh? When the president got in, what he did, he created a community works day. And he knew if I create a community works day, every Burundian works for 4 hours every Saturday. His first term, they built 2,500 schools, 500 medical centers, but he built for the future. He says, if we build it, we won't tear it down. So when the aid money comes sometimes, it'll tear it down because we didn't build it. So he's built over 8,000 schools, over 1,000 medical centers, and the people build it. So his last election, they wanted him out because he wasn't complying with the world, and they came in and they wanted to overthrow, but they couldn't because his people said, we built it, we won't tear it down. So that's the model to build any nation, is get the people working. As the people begin to work, they won't tear it down. So I'm looking for 10 people, and in my training, there is no, it's me personally. Correct, Raymond? You get me because I know how to craft your initiative for the world. This isn't a cookie cutter thing. When you stand in front of a president, you better be able to bring the heat, and he'll say, absolutely, doctors, let this guy in. And if the president says, come in, that means all the red tape is done. 15-year tax holiday. What? No, if they bring 15 jobs, we'll give them a 15-year no tax. I'm Dr. Clyde Rivers, and I approve this message. Thank you. Merci, Raymond. Thank you, guys.